Let's begin here. There has been controversy surrounding the granting of Enyobeni tavern an operating license, with many saying the municipal bylaws do not allow it to operate in that location. This is where 21 patrons, including underage teenagers, died on Sunday morning. Samples have been sent to the lab to test what led to the patrons' death. To talk more on the issue of the bylaws, we're now joined by SABC reporter Kim Daniels at Buffalo City Municipality. Of course, Kim, a lot of talk this afternoon and throughout the day about what exactly caused the deaths of these particular teenagers. Some are suggesting that the chemicals may have been responsible here. Others are talking about tear gas. There's a lot that is in the public domain. What do we know?
Good afternoon, Rogan. Thank you. As you said, talk, speculation, emphasis on those words. We had just received a press release from our Commissioner, Brigadier Kanana, who had once again emphasized the fact that media outlets and as well as the members of the public shouldn't speculate. They will not confirm nor deny any one of these speculations until they get the results of that autopsy. Brigadier Kanana also continued to say that they are working hard and trying to rush those results that are at a lab in the Western Cape in Cape Town, and as soon as they get those results, they'll send it back our way.
All right, Kim, and I do understand that you also have a guest with you who's going to be talking to us about the bylaws, because the issue of the granting of this license has been quite a controversial one.
Yes, I am joined now by BCM spokesperson Sam. If my camera lady can just pan to her, Natasha Makuntulu. So, with the issue of the bylaws, with the issue of the fact that the taverns are in residential areas, what does this mean in terms of liquor licensing?
Well, so far we've found 3 transgressions in terms of our preliminary investigation. The first one is the fact that our records show that there were no structural building plans that have been approved for that establishment. As you know, the establishment is a 2 double-story house, so that's the first issue. We don't have any applications for such plans, so that structure was built illegally. And then in terms of the zoning, again, if you are going to operate, be it a tavern or a shebeen in a residential area, you need to apply for that to be rezoned to a business. And again, we have found no application that the owner has done such a thing, and again, that business, it means it was operating again illegally. And then the last one, in terms of our bylaws, if one has to operate outside their liquor license hours, which would be extended hours, you need to apply. So if, for instance, your license is saying you must close at 2 a.m. and you want to operate up until 4 a.m., the municipality does make a provision for what is called an additional hours allowance. And again, we found that that establishment had not made such an application.
If we look at taverns generally, not even just in East London or the Eastern Cape or South Africa as a whole rather, all of the taverns are situated in locations in residential areas. Does this mean to say that all these taverns have to apply for this zoning regulation for their residential area to become a business?
Absolutely. You know, we had a meeting this morning with the Eastern Cape Liquor Board to actually look into this issue. We've got over 600 taverns in Buffalo City, and it's not just tavern, any business, anyone who's operating a business in their house has to apply to make that area rezoned to operate as a business. And that has got serious implications for us as a municipality. In a sense, then we start treating that particular RF number as a business, and of course all the things that have to do with the business do follow. So they have to apply, and they are very much aware of that fact.
What are the implications of having a tavern in a residential zone? So now I had a tavern in a residential zone, and I have not applied with the municipality for it to be a business. What would the implications be for me as a tavern owner?
Well, for starters, before you even get the tavern, you are taken through by the authorities on what you need to do. And if you actually don't do that, our bylaws permit us to take some steps against such transgressors. We can take you to court, and we can actually try and recuperate some of the funds that we actually picked up, that because we were charging you as a residential area. And secondly, if you've done some structural arrangements, like in this case, it can go up to the level of demolition if we haven't approved such plans.
If we look at the incident that happened on Sunday, In terms of legalities and things like that, are there any steps? You said you guys had a preliminary plan. What are you guys going to do now against the specific tavern?
Well, in the main, we are working with the police. We are going to be cooperating and handing over all the information that we have on this on the police. And then secondly, we are taking our own steps in terms of our bylaws on what we can apply both on the issue of the zoning, also secondly on the issue of the structural arrangement that have the building plans that were not approved. And of course, lastly, we are noting that the Eastern Cape Legal Board has opened a criminal charge against the business, but we will take our necessary steps in terms of what our bylaws permit us to do, and we'll follow that process legally.
Perfect, Samkelo. Thank you so much for your time. Well, that's what you have from the municipality here saying, pleading to tavern owners to regulate their businesses according to the bylaws and to take the correct steps and the correct processes so that they do not break any laws. But for now, from us here in the Eastern Cape, it's back to you in studio.
Thank you very much for that informative update. Kim Daniels there coming to us live from the Buffalo City Municipality talking about the issue of, bylaws here and how 3 transgressions have already been found when it comes to this tavern that has been operating in the Eastern Cape called Enyobeni.